controlled match by Sam Mitchell that time. And we got the big boys. Bucknavich of Cleveland State and Ethan Miller of Lock Haven here. Number 1 and the number 8 seed. Again, we saw Bucknavich in the first round. He's 21-3 on the year. Miller, I have at 5-20 on the season. Both wrestlers kind of working the center, getting a feel for each other here.
These two have met up. It ended up a third period fall for Bucknavich. That happened back on February the 16th.
And both wrestlers working the center of the mat. Not a lot of action going on right now. Both working the head. Bucknavich tries to snap Miller into a front headlock. Not able to do so. Miller knows he doesn't want to be in that front headlock underneath Bucknavich.
And Bucknavich has just been so impressive the first two times we've seen him wrestle. But I'll give Miller credit because Bucknavich comes out with that bull in the China shop type mentality and just tries to blitz you from the beginning. And Miller's done a good job of thwarting that early surge.
He's coming straight at you, too.
Yeah. And we've got another medical timeout. And again, Miller's
got some blood here by Bucknavich.
Miller's another smaller 285 that, again, if you're the smaller wrestler in this weight class, what do you have to do to take down a bigger guy like Bucknavich, who's so quick and so athletic?
Well, you want to, first thing you want to do is get him fatigued, and you want to get him moving. You don't want to attack him when he's standing still, because then they're going to be in a position where they can really drop some weight on you. So you really want to get him moving so you can get him off balance a little bit, and when they can't use all that weight on you. The other thing you want to do is you want to push them into the third period and hope that your conditioning is better than theirs, and they're more likely to maybe make a mistake in the third period.
So it looks like Bucknavich was the one that was. We saw him get scratched a little bit in his opening round match against Owens of Buffalo, and now he's getting the Jake Ferry treatment of the taped headband.
Yeah, Miller's outside linebacker size. Bucknavich is offensive tackle size.
Correct. So, to that, do you try to do like a rush in type move, swim move, try to get him down, with an off balance like that?
I think anything you do is going to be to the outside or a quick finish. I don't think you take a shot on Bucknavich thinking I'm going to work my way to a takedown. If I'm going to hit a high crotch on Bucknavich, I'm going to get my head outside quickly to try and finish where I use his weight against him. So when he starts to bring the weight, I can actually slide by that weight. So, you know, some of your big heavyweights' best moves are the big, I used to call it the big splash. They get the little guys underneath them, and they just kind of make them pay for a bad shot.
So action resumes here, and if you're Bucknavich, you're going to try to use your size and your power to your advantage.
Absolutely. Again, we saw him try to snatch into that front headlock because he wants to pull Miller underneath him, kind of make him pay for that, use his weight on him, make him carry that a little bit, and the head wrap quickly comes off.
I was going to say so much for that.
Yeah. Bucknavich, a body lock, gets to the side, nice finish there. Just kind of little head shuck to a side body lock and collapse Miller there for the takedown. 3-0 Bucknavich. Nice job on that.
That certainly was impressive, and now you got Miller scrambling away here, and you can't and you can't really blame him. Take a look here. This is, like you said, this is just a good shot, and really nothing Miller could do once he got his momentum headed in the wrong direction.
No, Bucknavich just does a real nice job of working hard into an underhook there off a kind of a half of a snap down, but he goes hard into that underhook and just works that into a side body lock and uses his size then to bring Miller down to his hip.
So we're going to try this head wrap again, as it came off, is now resting over there by the Cleveland State corner. Again, Bucknavich looks perfectly fine, save for a small scratch that won't stop bleeding.
Yeah, they're trying to go over top of the headgear too. I'm going to tell you how this is going to work out. Not well.
Probably not. But this is the final match of this quarterfinal on mat number 2. It looks like we're going to stay on schedule with a 5 p.m. start to the championship semis, which should be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to that. That's when the fur really starts to fly. But they have a nice job of pressuring on top, keeping them to the edge there, turning them back, trying to turn them back to the center a little bit, trying to pick up that far arm too, on his toes. Nice job of staying on his toes, keeping pressure. Good position right there. Going to call that off the mat as the period ends. So we go to the third period, but Bucknavich of Cleveland State up 3-0.
He's going to choose down after the deferring here.
I'm sorry, second period. That was all the first period there we just saw, wasn't it?
Well, you get a couple of blood stoppages. You had a lot of action. It certainly felt like we wrestled enough for 2 periods.
Bucknavich quickly to his feet, working the hands hard by Miller. Miller just turns him out. 4-0 Bucknavich right now.
And if you're Miller, I don't think you can go toe to toe and make this essentially a shoving match.
No, you definitely don't want to make this a pushing match. You want to make this an up-tempo match. You see Miller trying to do a little bobbing and that out there, trying to stay out of that tie, that he's trying to stay away a little bit more, keep Bucknavich moving a little bit, hoping that he can get him a little bit fatigued. But actually the blood stoppage is up Bucknavich a little bit here, even though he might be frustrated. Bucknavich trying to reach through and snatch a single, but Miller blocks there with just a collar tie block.
But again here, Miller hasn't been able to get much going in terms of offense, and that's a credit to Bucknavich's strength and defense.
And I talked about it in the first match too. Bucknavich has those long arms. He's tough to penetrate through. Those long arm heavyweights, they're tough to get in through. He reminds me of a heavyweight Cleveland State had a number of years ago by the name of Russ Davies, who also had real long arms. Tough to get in the leg attack on.
Only one other match going on currently. We've got a little bit of an upset in the making, and as the 6-seeded Jordan Greer of Ohio is up 8-1 on Jacoby Jackson of Northern Illinois. We saw David Zuba in action earlier.
So the third period, Miller goes neutral. Bucknavich with a real nice just a little bully double right to his hip there. He goes up 7-0 right now. Bucknavich with a nice aggressive shot off the whistle there. Here we go again. In a collar tie. Lets the head pop up a little bit. Just a straight shot double. Bully double right to his butt.
So now you have to think that this is an ideal scenario for Bucknavich, getting into that top position with all that strength, all of that power. And Miller, a slighter heavyweight here, has got to figure out a way to get back to his feet.
Right, and the clock is Bucknavich's friend right now, so we see him trying to double pry in the crotch here, just to flatten out Miller a little bit. Really keeping his weight up on his back, staying up on his toes. You see a lot of heavyweights go to their knees. They neutralize their weight advantage when they do that. Bucknavich has done a great job of staying up on his toes and keeping that pressure on the back of Miller. Bucknavich now gets the 2-on-1 rolled in. And again, inside of a minute to go here in the match. Now he's going to pop that wrist out the side. Official talking to him. He wants to see somebody working now. Bucknavich trying to pop that wrist out the side. Nice job of regathering there. It's a good spot on the mat, too. Miller looking for a little bit of a restart here as well. Again, Bucknavich will keep him right there. 20 seconds to go in the period. Bucknavich will be happy to wrestle out the last 20 seconds right there. He's got the 2-on-1. Got his weight on Miller right now. Miller's having a hard time even just getting a base back. Bucknavich comes off a little bit to make it look like he's trying to pop the wrist out. He really doesn't care if he does or doesn't right now because he's in control. And that's how it'll end.
So Bucknavich pitches the shutout, 8-0, and this was another impressive performance by the top seed.
Real dominant. Was patient in it. Doesn't wrestles his match, the match he needs to wrestle there, and really nice job by Dan Bucknavich there.
So that's good. Wrap us up here for the quarterfinal coverage. We've got the semifinals coming up here at 5 o'clock, but it looks like